Hi and welcome back. I'm not much of a builder, as you can see. I've done some DIY jobs around the house. Some have gone well and some, shall we say, not so good. In Jesus' day, people would have had to build their own houses. Do you think that the two men in the story built their own house before? They might have done. Or they may have just helped some people, or they may have just seen a house being built. But these two men ended up making different decisions on how to build the house. One built on a rock and the other on sand. I wonder why they made the different decisions on the foundations. I wonder why they did this. Let's pause for a moment and think about it. Why do you think that the two men made these decisions, for one choosing a rock and the other choosing sand? Take a couple of minutes to discuss this and reflect on this with your classmates.
We may not be about to build a house, but we do make decisions every day. And some of them are amazingly simple, like what we wear. Or make a decision on what music we listen to. Or maybe even what film to watch. But I also make other decisions. How I might act towards someone. How I might respond to someone who's upset me or made me angry. What present I might buy or make for someone on their birthday. Or how I respond to what I hear on the news. But if I'm honest, there's lots of things that affect my decision. Sometimes I make the right decision, but sadly, sometimes I make the wrong decision as well. It would be good to just take a moment to think. Who and what influences the decisions that we make, and why do we decide to do them? Why do we decide to be friends with some people and not with others? I'm going to hand you over to my friend Carla now, and she's just going to give you a few of her own personal stories.
Hi again, I'm Carla. So I'd like to share a story with you. At one time when I was a teenager, I remember I really wanted a pair of shoes. You know, something that looked exactly like this. And I remember pestering my dad because I really wanted that pair of shoes. Where I come from, things can be quite expensive. They're not like here in England. And that was really a trouble for my dad, but still, because I pestered him so much, he bought me the pair of shoes that I really wanted. And just because I was a teenager and I wanted to fit in with a certain group of kids. Now I'd like to share a good story that happened to me when I was a little child. I remember my grandma, she used to go to church, and at the time I remember her reading stories about the Bible, about this Jesus, and I thought he was a really good man. But not only that, the things he did really changed people's lives. And I thought that was really cool. That was really good. And I wanted to be more and more like him, even though I didn't understand much what that really meant. So now, guys, I'd like you, with your teacher, to think and talk about who and what influences the decisions that you make. Thank you. Goodbye.
It's interesting that at the start of the story that Jesus told, He talked about the man who built his house upon the rock as someone who listened to his words and then acted on them. They influenced what he did. And although Jesus didn't actually say it in the story, what he was telling us was that the man who built his house on the sand also listened to his words and heard them, but didn't act upon them. There are all sorts of different things that influence all the choices and the decisions that we make in our lives. So let's have a think for a minute about what these things might be. So, who are the best people to listen to? What is the right and good thing to do? We need to be wise in deciding the things that we are going to do. And we also need to be wise in deciding the things that we're not going to do. Let's have a think about those things for a minute. I wonder how you answered those questions. Christians believe that looking at the way Jesus lived his life and the things that the Bible says about our choices and decisions help us to live in the way that God wanted us to, loving ourselves and loving our neighbours. The reason why Christians believe that listening to God and Jesus is the best thing for us is because they also believe that God created us and therefore he wants the best for us. We're now going to finish with the picture of the lighted candle. You can use this time to think about who you listen to help you to make the right decisions and why you might choose to listen to them. We look forward to sharing more of the story together next week.